Well, hello, my gorgeous sacred crows. How are you? Yay! I can't believe another week has gone by. It's Wednesday. And it's Wednesday Sacred Crone Story Time. And yay, we are continuing from where we left off last week. So we did last week, and so check out the video from last week. I'll refresh the link to it in the comments here. Last week we looked at my six steps to embracing your sacred crone, my Awaken the Joy Within program, model, which is the cornerstone of the program and everything else that I do. And so we looked at Awaken, those amazing 6 transformational steps to living authentically, tapping into your crone wisdom, having a joyful life from here on in, unapologetic, totally authentic and juicy. Prior to last week, so week 1, so we're now in week 3. Yay! Week 3 of the Crone, Sacred Crone Story Time, reading from Jean Shanola Boland, MD's book, Crones Don't Whine. Now, if you are tuning in live, please hashtag, comment, say hello, do some lovey hearts, get some engagement going, and also so that I can see if you're here, because I am set up on the mobile. So let me know if you're here. Okay, so this week we are continuing on from Jean's book, chapter 3, which is Crones Are Juicy. So we've been talking about what is a crone. We are reclaiming the term crone. We are reclaiming what it means to be a juicy old woman, perimenopause, menopause, and beyond, this juicy wise woman. We are revolutionary here, women. We are choosing to give a big middle finger to the current ethos of our consumer society that is telling us as women that unless we continue to look like we're 20 and behave like we're 20, then we're no longer valid. It used to be that women in the crowning phase of her life, in this phase of her life, women used to be, long before, in eons past, were treated with reverence. The crone was in fact the crown of the tribe. She was the lineage holder. She was the lawgiver. She was the advice giver. She was revered and respected by men, women, and children alike. And it's only a very, very modern notion of a woman in her crowning years, in fact, in her prime, in her power years, being denigrated, being insulted, being devalued. And unfortunately, because most of humanity has quite, a short, hey, who's in here? Say hello, comment. Hello, Aries, thank you so much for joining in. Love you for joining in, thank you. So we are looking at Crones Are Juicy. It's the upcoming chapter. It's the next chapter in our Crones Don't Whine story time. If you didn't catch last week, looking at the Awaken model of crone living, of embracing the joy within, then catch that. I'll put the link underneath this video when we're finished. Any comments, anything that you want to ask, drop a comment in the comment section, but let us get this going. Okay, crones are juicy, which is vastly different to the idea out there that crones, women in their perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal years, the general idea out there is that we're all dried up and barren. We're no longer popping out babies, we're no longer having periods, and somehow we're just, shriveled up. Well, I'm telling you right now, we're not. Energetically speaking, we are not. And even physically speaking, we are not. Doesn't take terribly much to reboot and rejuvenate. Thank you, darling. Yes, and I'm hoping you're had a wonderful day, and tune in for your bedtime stories. So let me get this story. Get all comfy, get ready into bed, and let's get this story started. So, crones are juicy. A crone, C-R-O-N-E, a crone is a juicy older woman with zest, with passion and soul. If you aspire to be one, the secret is be yourself, while your mind, heart and body still function well enough and you can appreciate being alive. And I'll add in here that appreciation of ourselves and our health and our well-being is not actually dependent on being pain-free or physically as active as we were or anything like that. Our appreciation of where we're at and our way our body works and how we are in our skin is completely thought created. We can in fact live fulfilling lives even if our bodies are not doing exactly what they used to be doing. So that's an important thing to know. Pain, yes, we have a physical body. Yes, it may be going through hot flashes. Maybe it's feeling a bit more achy and not as fast as it used to be or what have you. Yes, you can focus on improving your physical function in your body. That is an option you can do. But your appreciation of your body doesn't actually require that your body is behaving itself in the way that you want it to. And a great deal of our suffering of pain and ill health is not the actual ill health or the physical symptoms. It's the story we give it. And that's really, really important to know, because I have been speaking to a lot of women 40 and beyond who, when asked, well, what do you want? And a lot of them are saying, well, I want a young body. I want the body that it used to be. And they're not satisfied with where they are at the moment and are believing that if they pursue a strong, skinny, what have you, body, that then they'll be okay, then they'll be happy. Absolutely. Our body is our temple. It is the house for our sacred spirit. So indeed, it is upon us to take care of ourselves as best as possible, to nourish ourselves, to strengthen ourselves, and all the rest of those wonderful good things that enable us to move through this world. But we don't need to be in physical peak condition in order to actually have an appreciation and a joyful life. So that's important to say. Metaphorically, as Jean continues, metaphorically, the three phases of the moon, waxing, full, and waning, coincide with the three phases of the ancient goddess, the maiden, mother, and crone. And the three biological markers of womanhood: menarche, so pre-period, period, menstruation, and menopause. And these divide women's lives into a three-act play. And this, our crone stage, is our third act. The curtain will come down at the end of it. Hopefully for many of us. Hopefully we reach the 90 and 100 mark and die in peaceful sleep in our beds, having reflected on a well-lived life. This is what we hope. In Act 3, you may pick up threads of meaning from earlier phases of your life and find yourself absorbed in something new. There are completions and endings. Doors close and others open. Whatever the particulars, what makes life juicy is being deeply involved in your life. And what makes our life particularly juicy at this time is making a conscious decision to let go of all those youthful mistakes. And maybe for some of us not so youthful. I made round 2 of large life-altering mistakes in my early 40s. So some of us take a little bit longer to get there. And that's okay. That's okay. Nothing. And what's beautiful about mistakes is if we've learned from them, they're no longer a mistake, they're a growth opportunity. So, you may be a juicy crone who discovered how delicious solitude is, with a place and life of your own, and only yourself to please. That's me now, loving it. You may be a juicy crone whose hearth and heart are welcoming of numerous people, whose life might even be a centre of activity for a community. And I'm moving my way towards being like that. You may be a juicy crone who found a younger lover. Yeah, I did that already. That was mistake number 2. May not be a mistake for someone else though. You may be married to the right person, right according to who you are and what you want in your life. You may be seeing the world as a tourist, a pilgrim, a Peace Corps volunteer. You may be reading and learning. You may be an activist working at making a part of the world better. You may be in a creative phase of your life. You may love spending time with grandchildren, or not, depending upon who they are or as much as who you are. Whether they exist yet. At the moment, I don't have grandkids, not rushing my daughter to get them either at this point. That's later. Others, including your own grown children, may think that you are inappropriate, whimsical, or eccentric. Bloody well hope so. This is what we're working on. Because you are able to be authentic and not conforming to a stereotype they have, or others may have, of a proper woman your own age. And so this is what I term aging disgracefully. Aging disgracefully meaning that you're not following the general stereotypical idea of what aging is meant to look like, particularly for women, like, you know, little quiet old lady in the corner somewhere just cooking or tending to the grandkids and that's it. No, you be exactly what you want to be at whatever age you are, tapping into your heartful wisdom and living a life that is one of passion and purpose. Rattle those cages. This is the time for us to do that, particularly because in our younger years, we were so focused on following social norms, following the peer group, taking care of our siblings, taking care of husbands or wives, depending on the way we swing, having kids, taking care of, or not, if we chose not to, working and taking care of our jobs and communities and all the rest of it. The focus had been very much out there in the world, taking care of everyone else's needs and putting ours way down the bottom of the pile. Well, this stage now, our Crone life, is all about putting us first. And everyone else can just kind of, you know, follow along behind or not if they choose. That's up to them. So, or you may find yourself unexpectedly being in a role for women younger than yourself whose mothers fit the stereotype. Yeah, well, for sure. This is what I am actually also seeing, that there is an interesting shift and change in the energy of women who biologically may be coming into the crone stage but are choosing to have children later. For those women, it's actually going to be groundbreaking and actually quite revolutionary. It'll be very interesting to see in generations to come how they have balanced the young mothering energy of having a young family with the internal shifts of their own energy as they meet their crone, their inner crone, as they come into the biological aging and the energetic aging of this stage of life, even though they're raising young kids. I'm hoping that what will happen for a lot of those women who are doing that is that they are able to bring the crone into their mothering and experience a more wholehearted mothering that comes from seeing a few years down the track than a young woman in her early 20s. So this is what I'm hoping will happen for women who are doing that they manage to balance both. So, so Jean says, when I wrote Goddess in Older Women, Archetypes in Women Over 50, I was very much aware that crone was not an acceptable mainstream word for women over 50. Now, we're saying over 50 because, yes, typically speaking, crone had been tied to the biological stage of menopause, but embracing a wider definition of menopause that includes aging disgracefully. I would love to claim aging disgracefully as my own unique term, but it isn't. It is actually out there. It's not my own unique term by a long shot, but that's what it is. Yes, most commonly the term is aging gracefully, and the idea of aging gracefully, of course, has had maybe differing definition of what that looks like depending on the era you're in, but for the most part it's been, particularly for women, a notion of just sort of melding into the background, particularly as she got older. Some might consider aging gracefully tied to this push for women to have Botox and hide their signs of aging and look as young as possible. And so some take on the mantle of aging gracefully to mean looking young for as long as possible. But aging disgracefully, when I think aging disgracefully, I definitely, for me at least, comes the comedy, UK comedy called Absolutely Fabulous. Now, okay, it does not necessarily mean that you'll be a complete and utter lush and drunkard, but certainly this notion of, as Patsy, certainly not, but definitely this notion of you are just doing your own thing. You are unapologetically authentic. You look how you choose to look. For some, it may well be going through, looking like, you're embracing your grey hair and you're wearing a particular style, or you're doing whatever you want. For others, like me, you may continue to, dye your hair whatever crazy color you want, wear whatever you want, and be how you wish to be. Start living authentically, living with passion and purpose, having the courage to finally set down everybody else's needs and take a moment and have a little listen to, well, what is it that you want? What interest or hobby might you have had as a kid that you put down and set aside so that you could grow up and be serious and all that stuff, that you would like to revisit? What's something that you haven't done that you really want to do? Do those things. Live large. I mean, this is it. This is the life we have. If you're not going to start living large now, then, well, when are you going to do it? And so this is the time to do it. Where do we go? So as Jean is saying, she prior to this book, she had written a fabulous book, Goddesses in Older Women. So archetypes of women over 50. So as I was saying, this crone phase had biologically been tied to 50 and over, but we can see that younger women can start menopause. So, I mean, this typical idea of menopause being in your 50s, Some start younger than others, where we certainly now extend the menopausal stage with many perimenopause, which we, for a lot of us, has started in our late 30s and early 40s. It's not so much about necessarily about the biological only about menopause, but it is about this energetic stage that is indeed linked to, well, we've now made decisions maybe to not have any more kids, and our body is slowing down and not allowing us to have any more kids, and we are now in the stage where we get to put all that energy that we put in generating, birthing kids, taking care of society, taking care of them, the family, we get to turn towards ourselves now and take care of ourselves. Now, that being said, hopefully we do know that we can take care of ourselves at any point in life, but this has got a certain power to it, an extra oomph of power that comes from the energetic shift into our wisdom phase. So, juicy brings to mind metaphors to do with moisture and electricity. In American slang, the positive meaning of juice implies being plugged in to a source of power or energy, or having the ability to make things happen. The juice that truly visualizes us is the juice that truly vitalizes us is unconditional love. That is our spirit. We are energy beings. We are spirit beings. We are not the story in our head. We are not the sum of the events that have happened to us. We are not even our physical bodies and all their aches and pains and shifts and changes. We are energy beings contained within a physical body, having a physical experience, but we're energy beings. And this energy of this phase of our life is far from being dead and drained and shriveled. This is actually our power stage. A lot of people, and this is it, a lot of people make the mistake of believing that the young years are the power stage. They're not. This is it now. This is it. So, it vitalizes, it's unconditional love, which is the one source of energy that is never depleted. Well, that's the universal energy. The universe is love. The universe is vibrant. The universe is forgiveness and radiance and expansiveness. It's all the good stuff. And that is our default factory setting. In nature, vitality, being alive, means that there is a source of water to nurture new growth and sustain life, which is moist. For both physical health and emotional well-being, metaphoric moisture and flow are also essential. Genuine feelings and unblocked expression of them are moist. In grief, tears of sorrow flow. In uninhibited laughter and joy, tears flow. To be involved and engaged in life is a juicy proposition. Every juicy crone taps into a wellspring of her deep aquifer of meaning in her psyche. We have this time now to awaken the joy within, to live from our heartful wisdom, to choose an unapologetic, authentic life, to be vibrant, to be joyful, juicy, and I just love it, to be juicy, to basically give a middle finger to society's ideas that women over a certain age, 40, 50 and beyond, are dried up, barren, shriveled up, and have nothing left to give. This is the time that we have the most to give. So let us tap into that. And that's what my Awaken program is all about. My Awaken program, Awaken the Joy Within, Embrace Your Sacred Crone, that is coming to you June 17. I have 12 places for that. Very soon I am going to be doing a 3-day workshop Crone Life workshop. We'll give you a little taster of what the Awaken program is all about. And the Awaken program will launch, beta launch, June 17, and its launch will be one-time only irresistible offer of $888. I love 888, absolutely love it. And if you pay in full, you're getting an extra bonus of a Joyful Life optimization session valued at $997, I believe, and it's absolutely fabulous. In it, you get to map out the joyful life that you get to implement and work out an implementation plan with me that you've mapped out in the 7 weeks prior. Yeah, 7-week program. So look out for that. I'll put the link. I will put the link for the 7-week program above, and you can jump in immediately if you want to. And what it's all about, I've only got 12 spots, so you've got to be quick on this one. It is absolutely going to be brilliant. We are going to look at those 6 key steps to embracing your sacred crone and stepping into your crone life. And it's all about being juicy. It's all about being passionate. It's all about having the courage to set down those regrets, those, oh God, and the regrets of what you did, and the worries about what life is going to look like beyond. It's all about you defining what is your worth, and your worth by default, your worth is invaluable, because we are all creatures of the universe. We are all completely plugged in. We have this unique energy that is just us, that has access to the eons of universal love and knowledge, and in fact, we're priceless. Yeah, this is the truth, but we don't see it. We lose sight of it. So if you want to be able to consistently tap into your invaluable, vibrant inner energy, your wisdom, and choose a life for yourself from here on in that is one that you can actually, get excited about, then click the link that I'll put above here and get ready to start the program with me June 17. I'm totally excited about it. We're going to have a lot of fun, because this is what it's all about. Crone Life is about fun. We've done the serious shit. We've taken care of everybody else. Now it's time for us to actually kick up our heels and have a carefree, passionate, purposeful, joyful crone life. So yay. Thank you so much, Aries. Before I go, was there any question that you had? Is there anything you wanted me to answer before I go? Oh, and while if you are putting a question in there, that's great. And what I will do, or statement, what I will also do is give you all your wisdom card, your wisdom affirmation for Wednesday, and that will give you, my dear Aries, any time to answer, comment, answer a question, make a statement, drop an aha moment, or ask a question. The croaky throat is not COVID. I can tell you that right now. It's not about others, but I've been sitting with a croaky throat for a while now. So, pulling a wisdom card, a Wednesday wisdom affirmation card for... Well, I'll pull one for you first, Aries, because you're here. And watching, so I'll pull one, send some energy away, think about whatever it is that what affirmation you want, what you're wanting to achieve for this week. Thank you, my dear, thank you. So I'll pull you, because you're here live, I will pull you a card for you personally right now, and then I'll pull a group one for everyone else who chooses to tune in later. So deep breaths, Aries, and think about whatever it is that you are wanting for yourself this week as I do this. Whatever affirmation or guidance you want. Love it. All right. So for you, my dear Aries, what we have pulled, don't know whether you can see that, Get into nature. If you have been stuck indoors, nature coexistence, gather, limit waste. Let us see. Well, I know for me, touching base, getting into nature is so important. It's just getting that sunlight on you. But I will tell you, take a look around at everything nature has provided for you. Because nature is that's where the abundance is. If you are feeling at all lacking, at all worried about your sources of providence and wealth and all the good stuff, take a look at what's going on in nature. Take a look around at everything nature has provided for you. Your home, clothing, food are all gifts from the universe, God, divine, however you want to label it. This card is encouraging you to look at how you can give thanks by limiting waste, by sharing your resources and knowledge with those who are close to you. Look at ways that you can reduce your demands on yourself and your environment for happier, more balanced living. Pretty cool. Go outside and feel the sun on your face or the wind in your hair. Breathe in clean, fresh air. Walk through riverbeds or feel the soft green grass under your feet. Find balance and be one with the natural world, just as... So the card image was of the Tlingit, Tlingit people, who have done for thousands of years. Look at how much time you are spending inside, especially in air conditioned or artificial heating or under fluorescent lights. Your body needs to recharge by having access to natural light and fresh air. Notice how good it feels when you walk outside and experience the world around you. I'm taking that on for myself as well, because Lord knows I have totally been cooped up over the weekend, and I will definitely be going out into the sun and grab a book. That's what I'll be doing, and sit out at the park. So this is me. I'm taking this advice as well. So get out tomorrow morning. Get up, get out the door, and go out into nature, however you like. Now for the group. Your wisdom affirmation for this week. For my sacred crones. And I do hope for all of you that you pick at least one thing this week that is out of the box for you. That is something that you've wanted to do but been putting off, or had done before but set aside. At the end of the day, we have a decision to make of how we choose to live our lives. You've been stuck indoors recently, so yeah, absolutely. I'll be with you in spirit, because I'm going to go find my local park and do the same thing. I totally have been stuck indoors and not getting out enough. Which is really silly, because it's actually been sunny and really pleasant. It's been pleasant, sunny winter weather here. Not too cold, not too hot. It's finally it, and I should be out in it, so I'm going to be doing that too. Okay, for my beautiful group. All right. I love this. This is lovely. So, for the group in general, and I love this deck. This is the Ancestors deck. Thank you, Erin, for getting me onto the Ancestors deck. This is Interact and Relate. So for my Crone group in general, the general reading this week is get out there and connect. Interact and relate. Community, family, and traditions. And let us read a little bit about the particular the particular blurb from them. But absolutely connect. So we've had get out in nature, and also now eat. What is it? Interact. Sorry, I'm finding it in the book. Pardon me, let me find it. It helps to go to the correct area in the book. There it is. Okay, so interacting, this one here. Your spirit shines brightest when you share your energy with others. You are meant to travel. You are not meant to travel through life alone. Spirit has sent people and animals for you to interact with and share your life with. Reconnect with someone you haven't seen for a while or haven't spent enough time with lately. Community and family are highlighted for you. This card for the group, this wisdom card for this week, suggests you've been isolating yourself or too busy to be present and engaged with friends and family. Be mindful of how important it is to interact with others. You don't need people around you constantly, but it is healthy to have regular social outings and to feel connected with other people. Prepare and enjoy a meal with people you care about. Absolutely. That's also on the cards this week. Absolutely. Well, my dear Crones, thank you, Aries, for tuning in and staying along the whole time. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest and sleep and recharge. And tomorrow, get out in the sunlight and enjoy a day connecting with family and friends and being out in nature. Next week, we have story time, and the chapters are ongoing. Is the next chapter in our story time, let me tell you, is the next chapter is Crones have green thumbs. And this does not mean necessarily that you are capable of keeping a plant alive. I can assure you I kill cacti. So if this was saying that I had to keep plants alive, I'd be in a lot of trouble. But it does mean, when this notion of Crones have green thumbs, means that we get to continue to plant seeds and nourish them and nurture them and help them to grow. Those seeds in earlier years were seeds of human life for those who were able to, and those that chose to have children. That was normally what was considered growing your garden. But now we get to grow gardens of other kinds, creative gardens, knowledge gardens, but we also get to help other generations, younger generations, other people, community at large, to grow gardens of actual and metaphorical kinds. And this is what this time is all about. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at what it is within our Crone stage that helps us to nourish life in all its forms. Okay, so look forward to it. That's next week. Looking forward to very, very soon, June 17, 7-week Crone Life program. So look forward to that. I'm going to be feeding you bits and pieces of more information as the days come. Thank you for joining me and staying tuned. Everyone else who tunes in replay mode, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Ask any questions. And I look forward to seeing you all next week.